I'm very excited today because I have a super unique piece. How unique? One. There's only one of these in the world. We're going to do an overview on this custom 1/4 scale Wolverine prototype. Welcome to the Extreme channel. My name is Mr. X. A big part of this channel is about extreme collectibles, and that's what we have today. We have a one-of-a-kind, the only one in the world, prototype for a Wolverine statue, a 1/4 scale, meaning 4 times smaller than he is in real life, and we're going to do an overview. We're not going to do a true review because I actually have a production piece on order for this, and when I get that in, we'll do a detailed review. But we're going to look at tons of details today, and we're going to go over the entire concept, all that good stuff. But before we do, we're doing some giveaways. We're giving away these 2 Venom statues. Make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, and you've hit that bell notification. Also, we're doing monthly extrizes. Those are extreme prizes. If you comment on a video, you get entered in to win one of those. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. But let's dive in, and as I said, we're not going to do an actual review, so we're not going to give a rating, but we're going to talk about all the traditional review categories in this overview. I'm going to be as objective as possible, although that might be a little bit difficult. But lately I've been getting a few different prototypes in to do these overviews / reviews. And it's pretty cool because all of these I have on order. So I get a little taste of what's to come. And if you've ever seen the channel before, you know I usually don't like that. I don't like to see work in progresses. But as you unbox a prototype and set it up, it's really exciting, to be honest with you. So a little bit of information on this guy. As I said, this is a 1/4 scale. It's kind of a Wolverine diorama, which we're going to talk about in the concept. And they're only making 30 of these. 30 production pieces. It retailed for $1,000. And the one we're going to look at today is painted bloody. They also had a clean version in case you're not really into gore, or if maybe you have people at your house you don't want to expose to that. So I like the fact there's a few different options, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's jump right in and start with concept on this. And Wolverine's very difficult with the concept because there are so many Wolverine statues, both licensed and custom. And you want to do something different, but you also don't want it to be too out of the box. You want to tie it to Wolverine. And I think they did both with this. Check it out. The base is very cool. There's a lot of things going on. First, you have a lot of alkali lake ties. There's actually going to be a Easter egg on the back of a sign, but on the front here, this metallic, what I call kind of a sub base. It has 3 Wolverine slashes through the front. Very, very cool. Instead of a nameplate, I like that a lot. And then above that, as you move up, you see some ice. And on top of that are some rocks and snow. And as you see right here, he has trophies from his arch nemesis, the people he usually fights against. You have Sabretooth, Omega Red, Lady Deathstrike, and then some katanas, which I think they were originally planned to be from Deadpool. I think that's what it's supposed to symbolize, but I kind of like it. Maybe it's from Silver Samurai. You never know. And he is standing on top in full Wolverine mode. He's victorious. He's screaming. He's bloodied up. He's cut up. The fight just happened. And he's in a really unique pose, kind of a, reminds me of a wolf, almost howling, just very victorious. His claws fully extended, really the viciousness of Wolverine. It's the classic yellow suit as well. I love what they did here. I think it's incredibly different. And there's a lot of neat things going on we're going to talk about in design because there are tons of display options with this. So I think, did they nail Wolverine? Absolutely. They showed his fierceness. They showed his origins. They showed his enemies. It's very bloody, or it doesn't have to be bloody, which is a design option. So I think the concept's great. Big fan of that. Let's talk about the design. As I said, I'm not grading this stuff, but let's talk about the design. A lot of cool options here. First thing I want to talk about with design are all the switch outs because there's so many. First, let's look at the portraits. You have 3 different portraits. First one I'm going to show you is actually a rendered one because apparently the print on the prototype didn't make it. So this is what the unmasked version or uncowled version is supposed to look like. Then they have one where he's kind of screaming, he's looking down, and his mask isn't really cut up or anything. The next one you're going to see, it's a full Rage On battle. And this one's clean. So I think even if you get the bloody version, you still get this portrait without any blood on it. And then my favorite portrait is the one where his mask is all torn up, he's bloodied, he's screaming, his neck is tilted up, so he's kind of howling in the air, screaming into the air. Very, very cool. And something awesome that they did, this actually comes with a mini bust display. Check this out. You can put one of the other busts on there, which a lot of times we get a statue with a lot of the different portraits you like. This is a great option. Now, a lot of people, they may or may not like having all of his trophies around. So let's look at each of his trophies really quick. And if you don't want them, there's actually options for that. So let's look at the katana in the back, whether it's Deadpool's or Silver Samurai. It's sticking into the snow. But if you don't want this, you can replace it with this piece right here. And they have switch out keys for every single trophy. Let's look at Lady Deathstrike's hand. And we'll look at it close with paint and sculpt, but it's awesome. It's very, very cool. Or you can replace it with this piece. And I like how some of the pieces are snow, some of them are rocks. You have Omega Red's hand and his tentacle. This looks awesome. Gets me really excited for some Omega Red statues that are coming out. And then you can replace it with this right here. And then you have Sabretooth with a katana through his head. His head is cut off. I love that. It's such a cool concept. But if you don't like it, you can replace it with this. So here's a picture with all of the trophies. And here is a picture without the trophies. So just display options alone, we're going to talk about some other stuff, but the fact that you can do it bloody or clean, the fact you have a separate bust display, you can display 3 different portraits, you can display it with the trophies, with just some of the trophies if you don't like one. Very, very cool. I'm going to go all trophies, all bloody, the bloodier the better, and very, very cool. I want to show you that Easter egg I was talking about, and we'll look at it again in paint and sculpt, but look at this. It's on the back of the statue. You never even know it's there. It's cool that they did something like this in the design. And the paint and sculpt on that is really good as well. Let's measure him really quick. So his widest point is the rocks jutting out is just under 15 inches, so not bad. The highest point is right at about 22 inches or so. And then deep, you're looking at about 12 inches. And Wolverine from the bottom of his foot, he's a little hunched over, is 15 inches, which insinuates about 60 inches or so, which is 5 feet tall. And he's a little hunched over, so the scale is right. That's nice to know. So with that, let's talk about the fact that half of the statue is the base. Is it good or bad that he's elevated? Well, it could be either way. One thing I really like about it, if you've seen my collection before, you see that I have pieces behind other pieces. So for me, this is a huge pro. However, some people don't do that, and this may limit your display space up top if you have shorter shelves. So kind of an issue there. But I also think having it so high makes the statue command a lot more presence when it's put in with other pieces. As far as construction, you saw the switch outs. The base is one piece. Wolverine minus his portrait is all one piece, and then of course his claws go in. So it's nice there's no seam lines on the arms. There is a small seam line on the neck, and I'm guessing it'll still be there with the regular pieces. Here it is right here. It's not horrible, but this is just the prototype too. So it's definitely feedback I'm giving them. Now we'll just dive into the close-ups to kind of look at that paint and sculpt. So check out the sub base here. As I said, I really like this. This concrete stone really makes you think of Alkali Lake, almost in the X2 movie towards the end. There's great texture, great paint on this. The coloring, the snow on top of it just really adds to it. Truly Wolverine's native roots. There's some ice right on top of it. I like the fact that it's not transparent ice. That would look a little bit weird in this statue. Check out the snow. Very deep snow. I like that. It's not just a little dusting of snow, but it's built there because it's there all winter or over time. Here's a few shots for you guys. We'll look at the blood in a second. It's a different gray color than they used on the sub base. Looks really good. Some good texture in there. And here's that sign again. They did a great job on this. There's especially the paint. I almost wonder if I'd want this in the front, but as I'm looking at the front, I think that would have been too crowded. Check out the blood splatter. This looks great. They did a great job painting the blood. As I said, I'm a guy who likes a lot of blood on the statues. The different colors of the blood make it look like it's real blood splatter. Almost like the painter studied CSI crap. Let's look at the trophies here. The katana, the blades are not metal. His claws are metal, which we'll see in a second. But it looks good. Lady Deathstrike, this is probably, her or Omega Red are my favorite trophies. And I thought Sabretooth would be, but I love how this turned out. I love the metallic aspect of her, the adamantium part, the blood that's on her fingers because Wolverine's all gashed up. Just so bony. The glove, it looks awesome. It's really, really cool. But equally cool is Omega Red. Hands a good size. It's definitely bigger than Wolverine, so I think that is scaled accurately with the Omega symbol. There's not a lot of texture on here, but I like that. And then if you check out the tentacle, it's actually cut off on the end. And it's more of a design thing, but I'm glad it hugs the base so close so you don't have to worry about it breaking. Let's check out the portrait on Sabretooth. Very badass. I've seen better Sabretooth portraits, but this is kind of a secondary part of it. I like the colors they really used, especially the blood. That dude looks dead for sure. Let's start on Wolverine, and we'll start on his boots. Classic blue Wolverine boots. There's some cool texture in here, a little bit of folds, not many, and you see some of the snow on the bottom as well. I like that. A lot of times you see a statue that they're standing in dirt or snow and there's no snow on the costume, so that was smart. Classic black stripe going up. And then as you get to Wolverine's legs, you got a few things going on here. First, the classic texture. This looks very much like a cloth outfit. It looks really good. Usually with Wolverine, you're kind of more used to a textured latex type outfit, where this is kind of realistic. So I think that's really smart. Good folds, has the classic color in the musculature, a little bit different offshoot of the yellow with some black shading in here. So that's one thing. Then check out the battle wounds. These look like real wounds. Really well done. The blood that's splattered around them, the blood in the cut looks really deep, really red, like it was just running. And then the other thing, I want to look at the musculature here. He has a really unique musculature, and I think part of that is the stance. He's in a really, really strange stance where his thighs are really overemphasized, which Wolverine traditionally is. You kind of think of him as a jumper. Check out his outside underwear. Also has that same texture effect, cloth effect on it. Very clean, the blue. His belt, paint job's fantastic. Looks like a red leather belt. Again, very clean paint. X-Man symbol in the middle. And now let's look at his torso. He is really roided out. Not only is he roided out, but his back is arched, forcing his muscles coming to the front. So they really went full roid on him. And then again, you see a lot more of the battle scars and the blood coming out. He has the classic black stripes on the sides that you'll also see on the shoulders. Here's a shot of his back. And you can see how arched it is to really accentuate those muscles, especially the stomach muscles. His shoulder blades, I like these a lot. Very shiny. There's some scratches in them. I like the shine on them a lot. Check out his arms. I really dig his arms. A lot of times with Wolverine, you either have too much or too little hair. I think you see the perfect amount on here. And again, this is a roided out Wolverine. Not as much as the Wolf Killer I did, but really good job. The hair is perfect. Huge biceps and triceps. Good texture on his skin. A little bit of blood splatter, which is cool. Here's his gloves. Same texture as his boots, so the same thing going on there. Looks good. Good definition between his fingers. Here's a shot of the blades. Like I said, they are metal blades. I like the blood on here as well. So let's look at his portraits. We'll start with the cleaner one. They both look great. The paint jobs on these is impeccable. I like the cowl, a few folds in it. I like how his eyes are very crunched over, very menacing. He has no stubble on his chin, which sometimes you see with Wolverine. I'm okay with that. The skin color's awesome. His teeth are great. He has the canines and the inside of his mouth. This painter, I know who did the proto paint, knocks these out of the park. He's actually done some stuff for me. And then here's my favorite portrait. A lot of the same stuff going on, but you see a lot of the blood added and the torn up cowl. And his mutton chops are coming out on this one because his suit is torn. So a lot of cool stuff on this guy. They sent it to me to show it to you guys, and now I gotta send it back. But I am getting a production piece, so that's really cool. I will do a full review. We'll do the extreme scale ranking and all that stuff on it when we get it. But awesome Wolverine piece. I'm already looking where I'm going to put him. My Wolverines are right behind the camera, so let's dive into some close-up videos for you guys.
Previously on X-Men.
Let me know your thoughts on this piece, and let me know what Wolverine piece out there they haven't made yet that you want to see, which is pretty tough because there's about 40-50 Wolverine statues that are well known. This is also by the same people who did that Riddler that I previewed for you guys. You can actually check out that video right here. But awesome stuff. So if you want to see some other customs, check out some of these videos right here. If you haven't subscribed, hit that Extreme logo and you can subscribe. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, and here is some close-up videos for you.